Hi everyone, I'm Craig Harper. Welcome to Challenge TV, another awesome episode. Now, if you joined us last week, you would have seen our special documentary on the Max's Muscle Up Challenge, the most effective 12-week transformation challenge in the business, and the 10 special blokes who were named in our top 10 in 2014 that shared their incredible stories with us. Well, tonight, it's the girls' turn and we're meeting the top 10 females from the first of this year's challenges, and their stories are just as inspiring as their incredible transformations. So with registration for the challenge now open, we thought what better time to show you this. So I want you to sit back, have a look at 10 amazing women and their stories. Not amazing just because of what they achieved through the challenge, but because of what they were also doing before the challenge. They were just like you. They were maybe sitting on the fence at some stage, will I, won't I? We all do that. We all do that. That's part of being human. But the thing that they did, they took action. They took action, made the decision, did the work, got the result, changed their body and changed their lives. Let's take a look at their stories.
My name's Gemma Spowett. I'm 27 years old and I work as a Queensland police officer.
My name's Bridie Millaju. I'm from Newcastle. I work in human resources and I'm married.
My name's Justine. I'm from Perth, Western Australia. I'm a single parent of a 2.5-year-old boy who's the love of my life, and I'm also a part-time shift worker. I work in the health industry. I'm an after-hours clinical nurse manager.
My name's Tanya Lowe. I'm from Mount Gambier. I have 3 children, 17, 15 and 13.
I'm Danny. I'm from Lockwood, South Victoria. I'm married. I have 2 small children, both 5 and 8, a boy and a girl.
My name's Stacey Turner. I live in Liverpool in the southwestern suburbs of Sydney. I'm a single mum. I have 2 beautiful children. I have a son, Seth, and a daughter, Ebony.
My name's Jade Caddy. I'm 31 years old. I'm from a small city called Karratha. Been married for 3.5 years now. I have 2 beautiful boys and I have 2 beautiful stepdaughters aged 10 and 13.
My name's Angela Wilkin-Eilers, 34 years of age. I live in Victoria near Wilson's Promontory and married with now 10-month-old little boy Henry.
My name's Alison Trinder. I'm almost 38 years old and I'm married with 4 kids, 2 of my own, 2 stepsons, and we live in Victoria.
My name's Diane. I live in Donvale in Melbourne. I have 4 children. The oldest is 25, second is 21, and I've got 18-year-old twins.
You know, before I started the Maxine's Challenge, I was a size 22. The relationship I had with fitness, it was very disjointed. I would get excited and do something for a week, and then it would get too hard and I'd make excuses. And I had a very defeated and negative attitude. I stopped caring about my own appearance because I figured nobody would look at me anyway. I was depressed. I probably didn't want to admit that I was, and I will tell people that I was happy at that size. But I think deep down, I was angry all the time, I was cranky, I was taking it out on my partner, I was taking it out on my family, and I was taking it out on my kids. I think once I was in the triple digits, I think that's what made me think, enough's enough. For 10 years I've battled with my weight since I had my son. I have to do something now. My father passed away when he was 53, so he had a heart attack, and I knew that my lifestyle, that's the path I was heading as well. So, you know, I've got to be fit and I've got to be happy and I've got to be around for my children. So I think that was the point that I said, I'm going to do this, and not only am I going to do it, but I'm going to smash it.
I hadn't weighed myself since my twins were born, which was 1996. I kept saying, well, I won't weigh myself because I know I'll be overweight and it'll make me depressed, so I won't bother. As a mum, you do put yourself last in the queue. So I made sure everyone else did their sport and their activities, but my husband and I tended to just be the ones who drive them around. So we were really ready to go back and do some exercise. I've done the challenge twice. So the first challenge, I weighed 87 kilos when I started and lost 12 during that challenge. So the second time, which was this time, wasn't so bad, but I was still overweight. So I had to do a starting weight, and that was confronting. I just kept thinking, I hope no one ever sees this photo of me, and I can never let anyone see it. It was also hard. Every time you logged into the website to write a blog, there was your photo, and it made you think, oh no, you know, my next photo's got to be better.
I tried to lose weight before. I've actually lost a significant amount of weight in the last 2 years and dropped about 10 kilos, but couldn't get the tone that I wanted and the real definition in my body. And then around Christmas time 2014, I lost my way a little bit with food and exercise and motivation. And I think the challenge, you know, kicking off that really gave that all back to me. And I stood up and thought, yeah, I can do this. And it gave me the self-confidence to keep going.
I've always been into sports and physical things, and snapping my Achilles, that did see a few extra kilos come on. No cardio, no walking, pretty much. I still did go to the gym, even in plaster, but it was just, I didn't change my lifestyle to what I could do, so the food kept going at the same rate. I thought that I was invincible and I could keep going eating and drinking without exercising. I didn't realise I looked like that until I took my photo, and it took me nearly 24 hours to actually sign up because I was embarrassed just in myself that I didn't know that that's how people saw me. I'm glad I don't look like that anymore.
My journey, long even before I started, was 117 kilos heavier version of me. I was bordering type 2 diabetic. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, postpartum depression with both of my children. And I lost my willpower and I didn't adhere, and I felt really awful about that. And we had some hardships and that come up, and I kind of fell off the wagon. I knew that I had the confidence in the Maxine's programs to achieve results and really give it 110% this time round, because the person 16 weeks ago, in some sense, is completely polar opposite to now. I am not that person anymore. I've created a bit more of a better life balance.
The old Jade was, not in a good place. I felt horrible. I'd sit on the couch and I'd eat a whole packet of chips. If I felt sad or depressed, I was like a bottomless pit. I used to hide all the wrappers from my husband. Yeah. Sometimes he'd catch them, like they'd be all beside the bed, and he'd just like shake his head. It was just a horrible cycle. Same old routine, and I'd wake up feeling yuck. The old Jade would have taken, I guess, the easy option, but I thought, no, I needed to be strong for this next chapter of my life.
I had a pretty good pregnancy and didn't gain much weight, and then I gained like at least 8 kilos after having my son, and I was the heaviest I've ever been, and it sort of just consumed me. Like, I'd thought about my weight all the time and what I was going to do about it, and I was a new mum, so as most new mums I was pretty exhausted, sleepless nights and poor nutrition. Then before the challenge started, I lost my mum son after my mum had passed, and I think that was like the catalyst for sort of my transformation, because she didn't really look after her health. And once I had my own family, it made me realise I really need to take care of myself, and I don't want to be in 5 years looking back going, oh, I let myself go, like where did all that time go? And I want to be able to enjoy my family more.
Pre-challenge and pre-baby, I was an active person, but once baby came along, I just couldn't get my physique back to pre-baby status. I was adapting to being a single parent and a part-time shift worker, and I just couldn't get it together as far as my exercise and my health went. It was like every time I was getting organised with my son, something would drop off, and then if I got organised with my health, then I wasn't focusing on work and I wasn't juggling all the balls at the same time. I'd always drop a ball. I just needed some me time and I just couldn't work out how to find that time. I wasn't in the happiest place. I felt like I was stuck in a rut, that every day was sort of the same day, in and out, and I was last all the time. I wasn't prioritising anything for myself, so this challenge helped me to put myself first for once in a long time.
It's hard to look back. I've always been medium to overweight, averaging, a size 14. I wasn't happy and I, would avoid doing things with my family. I would miss trips to the beach and my husband would take the kids down. I was too ashamed to get undressed even at the beach in front of my family. I was a pretty sad person actually. I really hated myself. I wasn't the person I wanted to be, but all my life I've struggled with my weight. People look at me and go, you're just a fit person and it's easy, but it's not. And then my birthday last year was my low point. So I made the choice and I've been on a really long journey.
I sometimes ate healthy, but if I wanted pizza, I would eat pizza. If I wanted bourbon, I would drink bourbon. I was a police officer, so don't get me wrong, we get in and out of the car 50 times a day. So I figured at the end of my shift, my exercise was done. The term skinny fat has been thrown around in my life before. Well, that was me. If I had a bad day, if I had a frustrating day, I wanted to reward myself, and my reward was food, or bourbon, or beer, or whatever it might be, the flavour of the month at that point in time. I didn't consider myself to be an overweight person. I was relatively fit. I did do CrossFit and things like that. But in 2013, whilst behind a stolen vehicle, we communicated over the radio where we were and what we were doing. The stolen vehicle pulled to one side of the road and my partner and I parked in front of the vehicle. I wanted to arrest the driver. The driver drove his vehicle into my door. I was trapped in the doorwell. I was then reversed over and dragged for 30 metres. Broken back, broken neck. In fact, 13 vertebrae were affected. The doctors told me I probably wouldn't be a police officer again. And probably the worst part of it, my mind was broken. Bones and muscles heal, but I didn't think my mind ever would. I spent 3 months bedridden, but I was determined to stay a police officer and become fit and healthy. My friends and family would say to me, you used to challenge, used to take on whatever you wanted. This crash, it's changed you. And I realised that I needed to transform myself, not only to the person I was pre the crash, but to the person that I wanted to be, which was a better, fitter, healthier, stronger person.